Hello everyone, this is Shashidhar on behalf of Edureka. So today we are here to talk about what is talent. As you've already seen series of information via YouTube videos on talent, here is one more video for you to get deep understanding on what is talent. So let's get in. So the agenda for this webinar is what is talent, understand why talent is needed, how it came into picture, and then what was the evolution of talent, when it was started, with which product they started, and till now which all products are available. Everything will be told in third part of this video, and we have a lot of use cases which helps you to understand where all talent is a right fit, and for your use cases where talent can help, and how optimized it is and how robust it is. You'll understand those things, and then at the end of this webinar we are going to give you a demo which will introduce you to the capabilities of talent, and you can understand the powerfulness of the talent, right? So let's get in and understand what is talent. So talent, as you all know, it is also a company, and the product name it's also a talent. So talent is nothing but an open source software for all your ETL needs. So it is also a vendor, as I said. It is headquartered at Redwood City, California. So software and services provided by Talend are categorized into all these areas, right? You have a Talend data integration softwares. We have enterprise application integration softwares. We have data management softwares, and we have big data management softwares. All of these softwares are provided by Talend for you for all these needs, right? So to summarize, Talend is also a vendor, and it also provides software for all your data ETL needs. Okay. So Talend empowers the organizations to immediately turn data into business insights. So today, data management is a problem everywhere. A huge data, and then time is the constraint. All those things you'll be seeing in your day-to-day life, I believe, right? And what does Talend offers for your problems? See, it is 7 times faster. So you take a baseline of any of the ETL tool in the market, and it is Java based tool, and you can literally come to a conclusion that it is so fast than anyone else in the market. And then coming to cost, so you provide the solutions using Talend, and you will have to buy that product, and whether it is worth for all your use cases or whether it is giving solution for all your problems, even then it is economic. So it uses 1/5 of the expense you are spending on it, right? And it is future proof. The one of the key selling points of Talend till date is again a Java based tool and a drag and drop user interface, and the design what you make in ETL. As you know, design change is very costly in ETL. So all your designs are future proof in Talend. So it provides you all that what is going to be existing till the end, right? And then unified platform. So you have, as I said in the previous slide, it is all integrated. So you name big data, you name enterprise solutions, everything is available under one unified platform, that is Talend for you. So let's understand the evolution of Talend. So what was first and how it evolved, what was the need, everything. So evolution of Talend was something like this. In 2006, the data integration, the first version of data integration was launched, and then people started buying it, using it, and since it was open source, many of them gave it a try. And then with that success, in 2008, they launched data quality, and today data quality is very much used. We have all day-to-day data quality problems. So what we face, data profiling was required to go ahead with any of your ETL projects to understand how much of your data is good. So for such needs, they launched data quality. And then again, they started growing, and in 2010, they launched master data management. So as you all know, after ETL, they got success in ETL. The next step is obviously master data management, and they made it really easy and really user friendly. So that was data management in 2010, and in 2011 they launched application integration, and in 12 big data. So big data is very closely coupled with Talend software, and we have all the connectors, whichever big data you name in, and Talend can connect to it and also write MapReduce for you. So we'll be understanding about it in our another video of Talend Big Data. You can also watch that. And in 2013, Hadoop 2.0, whatever evolution happened in big data is immediately has come back to Talend, and they provide all the new options provided there in your Talend as well. And in 2015, we got into Spark and cloud integration. So even this is a very key selling point. Spark jobs in Talend are very user friendly and very easy to generate. And main thing is performance. When it comes to performance, Spark and cloud integration jobs are very good, very optimized, and very powerful. In 2016, with all these learnings, data preparation, say I would call it at, stop the problems being entered your system at the source, something like that. So the people or the customer or the data producers, for them, it makes a lot of meaning wherein you can avoid few of the data issues to get into your system itself from data preparations. So it helps you to, reiterate your data sets and validate them and then pass it on to your ETL systems. So data preparation is also one of the good selling products of Talend. And ultimately, very recently, there was introduction of Data Fabric, which is kind of a superset wherein most of the qualities or the features which we saw before 2017, they have been combined in Data Fabric with all these options, and that's the one tool. So why we have a subset or a superset is it's all license dependent. So if you're not doing anything with Spark and Cloud or something like that, you can only buy the data integration software. And if you are working with the only big data related thing, then you would only go and buy Talent Big Data, something like that. So the recent release is Data Fabric and Talent. So till now, these are the products which has been delivered by Talent, and they are doing very good, really good in the market. And you can yourself understand within this small period of time how many products have come out. And in the Gartner chart, where are Talent standing? It's in the challengers quadrant. In the leaders quadrant, it has moved out very quickly from 2006 to 2017, right? So this is how Talent has evolved. So as I said, and also we saw the evolution with all the products. So we'll have segregation of them in this slide, that is Talent Products. So Talent Products, for example, the platforms wherein they support. It's in the first section wherein they say big data, data management, master data management, enterprise integration, data services, hybrid cloud. So though few of them are not mentioned in evolution only the major products and the timeline have mentioned, and there are many other products which Talent has come up with. So all these products comes under the Talent platforms, and in the enterprise versions, that is the license versions, we have big data, Talent integration, and Talent ESP. And for the open source, we have MDM, that is Talent Open Studio for MDM, data integration, big data, data quality, ESB, and BPM. So you can just go to Talent website, download the Open Studio freeware, and try it out. Do a POC on whatever problem you're facing, whether Talent can provide the solution for you. Just have a try, and then if you're happy, you can propose to your client and get the enterprise version of Talent for all your needs, right? So these are the wide range of Talent products which has Talent provided and is in market right now. So what are the features of Talent products? So why is Talent very fast growing and very user friendly, right? So what has made, or which are the features which is very unique or which has made it to grow this much big? So one is native code. As you know, Talent is an very user friendly GUI it has, and you just drag and drop the components you require and you configure them. But then whatever you do in the front end, we have that code generated in the backend, the Java code and the native code which is generated, and that code will be compiled and that will be executed as your job, right? So your native code is always available there, and that's how it's very easy for you to understand it. So better collaboration. So and when we say better collaboration, as I said, any big data you name it as, already we have the components where they are tightly coupled with Talent software. So that collaboration is really good. Whatever you name, whichever ERP you name, we have the components. You want to connect to SAP systems, you want to do an FTP or whatnot. So all collaboration is done, and with all customizations. So you name components for Oracle DB and what all options are available, sequencing or indexing, all those options which are differing in each of the databases, all the custom options are also available in those components. So they have a better collaboration for each and everything. Even a small detail has been given importance. Faster designing. So for any ETL project, you choose Talend as a solution. You can really design them fast. And as I said, it is future proof. So your designs, and there's a concept of dynamic schemas in enterprise version of Talend. So you don't have to worry about that section as well. So you can read your files with dynamic schema, all those stuff. And design as such, overall ETL design, you can really do it very faster, and very optimized design can be delivered with Talend. And what is this early cleansing? So as I said, there is also a software for data quality, and you can profile your data before you get into ETL. And when you are getting into ETL, you can get to know what all the profiling options were available. Like there were so many nulls, or there were so many hyphens which was not required. So you get all these details from your profiling thing, and then you can get a sign off from your data owner, and you can early cleanse them before even you're going to apply the business rules on them, and that can be very optimized. Just imagine a lot of data wherein data where you're using for joining, or for some condition you're putting that for filtering or something like that, and that has some hyphens and spaces or something like that. Imagine what would be the cost to correct them at the point where you are really dealing with very large data. So early cleansing is really helpful, and it is with the tool which you can make use of to avoid the costly things at the end, right? So efficient management, you have very efficient management in Talend, like you can get your workflows, monitorations, all those stuffs, like where what happened, starting from the point where the job has failed, the logs is very customizable, however you want to do all those things. So when job fails, or your workflow path, or whatever monitoring you have to do, everything which comes under management of a job or management of the design is very easy and efficient in Talend, right? And scalability, obviously it is very easy scalable. So you can go in and scale up your jobs which are already developed. You can replicate your jobs, run it on a different servers, build a job, and you scale them up. You get more servers, add them into it, and you increase the optimizations or bring down the job running time. All those things are very easy, very user friendly, and that's how it is very scalable. And real-time statistics, yeah, in our demo also we would like to show you. Whenever you are running the ETL jobs, so we have the real-time statistics going on, being displayed on the job. And if the job is running in enterprise version, we have something called admin center, wherein you can monitor all the logs, you can see the statistics, what is happening, how many rows have been passed, failed. In the very first step of the job itself, we'll come to know the expected numbers in that step, that particular step, whether it is right or wrong, whether it was expected or not. So that real-time statistics also is available. So all these features put together makes Talend a very good ETL tool for anyone who is in need of any ETL solutions, right? So these are the features of Talend. Now coming to Talend in modern data architecture. So this is how they are tried to put. So if you can observe here in dev and data tools, they have mentioned about their own tool, Talend. Okay, this is one of the information which we can find it in Talend website as well. So we have today different source systems, the heterogeneous source systems, wherein one of your client will give you an Excel, another one will give you an XML, whatever the existing source systems may be. Okay, and emerging resources like unstructured data, your other related data which are not so structured, or your data which is not in proper format to go ahead for migration or something like that. So all your existing source systems, and where you want to put them, like data systems, your SAP or your Hortonworks, whatever it is, and then which applications uses it, your reporting layer or something like that. So BA, W, and all those reporting, I would say, or the applications what they have mentioned. So all these data wherein over there. So you use the infrastructure and you getting the data over there. So we have operation tools, Teradata or System Center or OpenStack. So which works on operational, needs of it. And then with Talend or whatever the tool present over here, Visual Studio or .NET or Java, you can get the data, and that's where they are linked to both to your data system and applications. So how Talend makes your life easy. So it can read from your heterogeneous source systems. It has close connections with all your Hadoop and Hortonworks, all the sandbox providers are tightly coupled with Talend. And also, if you want the manual setup of Hadoop, even that is supported. And then the structure which is needed for your reporting can be easily achieved with Talend. Okay, so whatever they are looking at, the aggregations or the incremental thing which they want to show it in your reporting layer, all those stuff in every layer, Talend has a picture to play, and that's how they are telling in the modern data architecture where all Talend can help you. And this can be your existing source system where you can just put in your current design and check whether where Talend can help you. So this is Talend in modern data architecture. So having the knowledge of what is Talend, what are the different products Talend has delivered, and for what use case, which one you have to choose. So that is the point where we'll have to see what are the real life use cases and how Talend has helped in that use case. So let's get in and get to know what are the real life use cases for Talend. Whenever Talend came into picture, so in 2006 or in that timeline wherein Virgin Mobile was one of the vendor who came into telecommunications. So for that, offering a simple, innovative and complete solution, right? Virgin Mobile France, which is a fast growing mobile virtual network operator at that point of time. So 94% of their customers report that they were happy or very happy with the customer service launched in United Kingdom by Sir Richard Branson. Okay, Virgin Mobile also has offices in Australia, Canada, France, and India and United States. Over 100 million consumers in the world benefits from its services, right? So for this client, say Virgin Mobile, so what is that use case which had, what was the problem statement and how it was solved? Let us see that. So use case was operational reporting, customer service. So that is the use case category. And what was the challenge there is creating new mobile packages with better fitting customer needs and dealing with profitability. So as you know, today there's a lot of scope for telecommunication, wherein there is a lot of vendors and hell lot of competitions are available in between them, right? So what is the data we have to analyze? So we have so much of millions and millions of users. So we'll have to understand what is their priorities, what are their expectations, and coming to the prices, so how we can give them better packages in the network so that they stay with you and they continue to stay with you with referring others as well. So that was the a challenge which Virgin Mobile faced. So for analyzing this data and which category, how much customers are coming, what is their expectations, all those stuff. So this was a very complex thing which has to be handled with a large data set, right? So what were the results? So 5 million innovative tickets per day processed through Talent integrated systems. So every time we are receiving the tickets, we are going to read through it, understand what is the customer's feedback or what is the expectation, whether a different package has been provided for him, whether he would continue with the Virgin Mobile or what is his expectation from Virgin Mobile, all those stuff, right? Access to source code enables internal control over information system. So Talent can get to know what is the history of the customer. So how much he is spending on data, how much he's spending calls on local calls, how much he's spending on international calls, something like that. So with integration with MySQL fits into existing infrastructure and it is highly customizable. So having this solution provided to them, so we took the data into MySQL thing and we have used Talent capabilities to aggregate it or get the results on what is the expectations of this customer, and they have provided the results for them, right? So similarly with that use case we have with another retail and e-commerce, that is Groupon. So launched in November 2008 in Chicago, Groupon has since grown to over 1,000 regional offices with more than 10,000 employees in 48 countries and features thousands of deals every day. So most of us will be aware of this. We'll be getting promotion emails from them. We'll be seeing some ads related to Groupon, right? The key to Groupon's success lies in unbeatable prices with top-rated local business partners. So this is about the vendor or the client. So let's see what was the problem and what is the use case. So use cases, customer experience. So aligning marketing activities more closely with customer preferences, which is a sheer volume data. Okay. So, Groupon, like how many promotional emails comes in, they have a large customer base. The challenge itself is that aligning marketing activities more closely with customer preferences. Okay. So that was the problem. So 1 TB of raw data processed in real time and stored every day. So it's not only 1 TB, it's 1 TB per day. So imagine that volume when you go with monthly and yearly reports, right? So 1,000 data integration jobs were run every day using Talend ETL process. So every 5 minutes, Talend updates the data warehouse with OLTB system data. So you can just imagine the time every 5 minutes means in the next 5 minutes we have to load the next set of data. So imagine the powerfulness of Talend where it can handle all those stuffs within 5 minutes, right? So 1 TB of data and a business rules upon it and aggregations and then loading. All those stuff for this use case they have achieved, of course, with different hardware capabilities, which I have to mention. So this is how Talend has provided solution for Groupon use case. And another use case in industry of media and entertainment is for Orange. So since June 2006, Orange has been the leading group brand in internet, television, and mobile services in most of its markets. Right? It also provides telecommunication services to business worldwide under the Orange Business Services brand. Right? So what was the use case and challenge? So use case is sales commissions, and what is the challenge? Improving revenue sharing with vendor partners by analyzing the sales data. So you get the sales data every time, you'll have to analyze that and improve this revenue sharing. Okay. So 2 dozen reports from Talend fed data warehouse. So all the data related to reports has been fed from Talend. Enable companies to analyze its business in detail. So one training session is all developers needed to learn Talend. So that is what they have mentioned in the success story. The learning curve for Talend is very less. So anyone who is fresh or from an ETL background, both of them, it needs very less time to understand this tool and work on it, productive from day one. It's very less time. So existing process remain in place. Adopting Talend did not require altering the process. So there's one more key point wherein existing process were there. Only the data fed to the data warehouse, which needed by the report, was done from Talend. So all this way of providing the data made them improve the revenue sharing with vendor partners by analyzing all the sales data which was provided by Talend. So this made a difference for them for improving the revenue sharing, right? So all these use cases you would have understood. Okay, Talend data integration will help in some use case. When there is a large data, Talend big data will help in. So if you want to maintain the customer base, we will have to go for MDM, wherein customer relation management we have to put it on master data. So we have different tools in Talend to support different use cases. We'll have a short demo on Talend Open Studio, and we will showcase one simple use case, and with that use case you will understand how easy it's to develop Talend jobs and to maintain it, and how optimized the solutions are in Talend, right? So let's see a demo on Talend. So before we get into the demo, let me show you how to download Talend, and after download how it will be available for installation. So once you go to talend.com and then you download the required product. Say for example, we are using Talend Open Studio for data integration. So it's quite simple. You'll have to just log into talend.com, and this will be your welcome page, and you will have a direct link for downloads of all the products. So you'll have to just go to download section and then find the right product which you want to download. In our case it is data integration, so we can choose that product, and it's just one click for the download, and even for installation it is very easy. I'll show you that steps as well. So you just have to come to data integration, which we are going to try now, and just click on this download free tool, right? So once you do that, a zip file will be downloaded. Okay, so it would look something like this. So Talend Big Data is one more product, as we already know, we have seen in the slides. So it will also contain everything which is there in data integration plus big data component. So you can as well download this tool, which is a superset which contains big data plus data integration, right? So that is what I have done. So I have downloaded TOS Big Data. So it will be in a zip format. You will have to just unzip it and just launch the binaries which you need. Like if you are using Linux system, it is .sh file, and if you are using a Windows, it is .exe file. So all of them will be available in single download. You'll have to just launch the one which is required for you. So in my case, I'm using Linux operating system, which is 64-bit. So I would choose this binaries and I'll execute it. The only requirement which Talend needs as a prerequisite is a Java installation. That's it. And your Java path has to be set. And this download and launching this exe that's all you need for your ETL needs, right? Quite simple. So when I launch this Talend tool, it will show up a screen like the opening screen. So you'll have to create a project before you enter to the Talend tool, right? So let's create a new project. So I'll click on create new project and I'll tell why Talend demo. So this is what is my project name, and I just say create. It will create a project for me, and I say finish. It will open up the tool for me for this project. I can have multiple projects inside one workspace. So workspace is nothing but a complete Talend dependent. All the files will be loaded into that workflow which is required for your project, right? So that workspace is related to your Talend work. Whatever is generated at backend, whatever files we do, everything will go into our workspace. So one installation, like one Talend workspace can be maintained, and you can also maintain multiple workspace, but at a time you can only use one workspace in Talend. So now it is first time my project is loading. So it is loading all the required plugins, jars, libraries, emitters, whatever is required for Talend is being loaded at the backend. In between my project is getting loaded, let me also give you an insight of what use case are we taking to give you a glimpse of Talend and its capabilities. So what are we using? What is the use case we are trying to build here? I'll give you a walkthrough for that. So now my Talend for my project has been loaded. I'll get a welcome page like this. I can close this and I'll get all related Talend windows for my project, right? So this is my Talend ETL tool, and this section is called repository, wherein all my ER diagrams, I can have it over here. I can create ER diagrams over here. I can create my jobs. I can have my variables loaded. I can maintain my metadata. I can maintain my external code over here. Anything in Java I have to write and integrate, I can do it here. So all these things comes under repository for me. And then this section is called outline and code, where a particular part of code can be visible. And this section is the work design section, wherein I can drag and drop the components and I can make my ETL jobs over here. And this section is called job section, where all job related information will pop up. Once I create the job, all these windows will be activated. So let me first create the job so that it will be more meaningful to explain those windows. So let me name it as J underscore first job Y Talend demo. And you can give purpose. In this use case, we are taking one football players related information, which is a very large data, and we are trying to do some analysis on which club has more members or who has the top players, something like that. So I'll explain you that use case. So I can just say demonstrate Talend capabilities, something like that. So same thing, I'll put it for description, and now I have all my mandatory fields filled. And I say finish. Now a new job will be created for me, and all other windows which were blank previously will get populated with the related values. And now you can observe, so I have my jobs under job design, and there is all related thing whatever I gave here, purpose and when it was created, what is the version in job window, and we have all the components listed in palette. We have wide range of components in Talend. Each of them are organized under each headings, like big data. If you go in, you'll have all the big data things, and that related components will be available over here, right? So that is palette. So you can drag and drop components from here, design your ETL jobs, and have solution for your requirement, right? So now let me go and explain the use case which you are trying to do. So we have one input file, FIFA player details.csv. Okay, let me open this. So there's nothing but a complete details about all the football players or FIFA players, and what all information we have it in this file. Let us have a look. So it's a really big file, so it's just still loading. We have large data inside this. So you can see over here, we have the ID, we have the name of the player, full name, which club they are playing to, what is the club logo, and know how, what is the height, weight, all those stuff, and what are their ratings, what is their plus point, all those stuff like skill moves, weak foot, ratings, average, all those stuff. We have all these details for all the football players. So now with this detail, somebody FIFA association would like to know which club has good players or which club has more number of players, which would help them in analyzing whom they have to approach for what, and which leagues are having best players and who is the best player, and under this age how many players are there. So all these information would be needed for few decisions to be taken at the FIFA associations. So for this, we will try to give some solution. Let us consider somebody is looking at which club has how many players and they want it in descending order or ascending order. And then somebody would like to only have all the players list who are belonging to, say, for example, French league or the Spanish premium division or something like that, Primera division or something like that, whatever be the league name. So they want all the players under that league. So let us choose these two use case. One is which league has or which club has how many players. That would be the one case. And the second case would be for certain leagues, say for example Spanish Primera Division and French League 1, we would like to filter out all the players who belong to that league and put it in a separate file, and that file would be delivered to some requirement. Okay, so let's take these two use cases and try to provide solution in Talend for this. Okay, so first step in my Talend would be how will I read this file, and this file is quite huge file and it has lot of columns to be read. So manually doing is a very impossible job, right? It's also not optimal. What would Talend offer me for this? So Talend has a section called metadata wherein I can provide this file, and Talend itself reads the file and it decides the data type based on the data over there, and it will provide for review for you. You can have a review if you want to change the data type, length or anything else. You can do that and import the metadata. So I'll show you how. So I'm using a delimited file. That's why I come into file delimited under metadata, and then I right click on this file delimited and I say create file delimited, and this is all metadata, so I would name it as metadata for FIFA, something like this, and I say next. I'll have to just provide this file, so FIFA player details, and then what is the delimiter. So next step would be that. So the delimiter is comma here, and I have a header in the first line, so I can say set header row as column names, and then I would like to refresh the preview. So with this different field separator and header row settings, so how does my data look like? So it will show me a preview first and then I can proceed to create the metadata. So it has created this. You can see the first row has been kept as the header, and then now let me go to next. So it has listed down all the field names along with the data types. So right now it has predicted all the data types properly. So integers for ID, name, string and all other stuff. So I say finish. By doing this simple 3 to 4 steps, I'm able to get the structure of that file without any problem. So I can get in this metadata into my job as a component and I can use it. So everything will be predefined. So I can see now I'm trying to read a delimited file. So in Talend, the components will be named something like this. It starts with T, and what am I reading? I'm reading file. What kind of file is it? It is input file. So what is the format? Delimited. So d file input delim, something like that. If I type in, I'll get all the components related to that. So I have a component T file input delimited reads the file row by row. So this is what I need. So I'll just drag and drop this T file input delimited component, right? And if I double click on this under the component window, I get all the attributes which I have to fill in so that I can tell this component which file to read, what is the row separator, what is the field separator, like that. Okay. But now since I have already, created a metadata over there, I can just tell the property type here as repository and I can choose whatever metadata I have created. Else it would be manual. As you have seen already, it should be in built-in and I should manually give the file name. I should manually give what is the row separator, field separator. I should manually come and tell here header is 1. So rather than that, since I have already created it, I'll go to repository and I'll just choose this file delimited. So by selecting repository, all the values are pre-populated here. So I don't need to again go and fill in. And also if it was manual, I should have given the schema manually, but now since it is a repository, even schema would be populated along with it. So now I have schema, I have the file name, I have all the related fields to be calculated over here. So I can certainly read this file without any problem, right? So my first step of my use case is to read this file. So that I have completed. But I had two cases. One case is to get to know how many players are there in each of the club or league. And the second use case was for particular two leagues, we will separate out all the players. So I need the same data at two places. Okay. So rather than reading the file two times, I can replicate the data coming out of one component. So Talend provides a component called treplicate. I can just even type inside the work area to get the components as well, right? So I can take treplication component and I can give output from my T file input delimited to treplicate. So there are two sections in each of the components which reads or writes. So every time when I say row, I will have some one, two, depending on the nature of the component, we'll have the row types. These are called row types. So main usually carries the data. Reject carries the data which will not satisfy the few of the conditions which we give. That is a little advanced topic. And iterate goes in row by row. For each row, if you have to do a set of operations, then we'll go with iterate operation. For our use case, I just have to read the file and get the data. So I will go with main and I'll connect it to treplicate. So it will read the file and it gives all the rows of that file to this component. And as I said, the nature of treplicate is to, as you see the design of this component, one input and many outputs. That's how it looks like, right? One arrow and three arrows coming out of it. So it can take one input and give same outputs many times. So I can give it to another component from treplicate, which will just propagate the same data to another one. So our first use case was to get to know how many players are there in each of the leagues, right? So what I'll do, I'll take an aggregation component. I'll have to group them, right? So Talend provides an T aggregate row component. So I'll take this component and from treplicate, I will give the main row for this. Okay. And in T aggregation, all the schema, whatever here in the left hand side, that is in the file which I'm reading, I don't need that. I just need, what is the league name which I'm trying to group them up. So I'll just choose that. I'll take the league and then I'll create one more column here to hold my aggregation value. I'll say number of players and I'll make this type as integer. So these are the only two columns which I need for my aggregation. What is the league name? In that league, how many players are there? That is what the output I'm looking for, right? So this output will be given by my aggregator row, but I should tell what column I'm grouping by. I'm grouping by with the league, and then for number of players, what is the output column and what should be the operation. So in number of players, I'm having so many all aggregation functions available here. For me, it is count, where I have to count the number of players. So I can just tell any of this name of the player or whatever it is. So I can just count number of players in this league. So this will provide me the output of how many players are there in the league. But then after this, they need the data in ascending or descending format, like which has the highest players has to come up the first. The league which has highest player should be in the first row, and the league which has the lowest players should be in the last row, right? So I just need to sort them. So I have a component in Talend for that. So T sort. So it is all psychologically whatever you want to search, just type in that functionality or type in that need. You'll get a component for that if it is available. So I have T sort row. So whatever output comes from again row and main, I'm giving it to T sort row, and I'm telling on which column do you want to sort it, right? I need to sort on number of players, which is a number, and I wanted in descending order. So this is what my output will be provided by tsort, which is my final output for case 1, right? So let me hold that value in, either I can print it on the console or I can write it to a file, right? So let me write it to a file. So let me again take t file. In this case, I'm using output, not input. Previously, we saw component which for reading the delimited file, which was t file input delimited. Now I'm writing it, so I'm using t file output delimited. So I'll just take this output delimited and whatever is data coming out of T sort row, I'm giving it to T file output delimited, and let me create that file in Edureka folder in demo output folder. So the name will be something like league players, something like that, count or something like that. And row separator, field separator, let it be that. And by default, schema would be copied, league and number of players. So my final output will be available in home Edureka, demo output and league players count. So this is for the first use case. And if I want to build the second use case, wherein I wanted to filter out few of all the players who fall under a particular league. So in that case, I'll take filter component. So my need is filter. So I'll take T filter row and input. I have taken it from the T replicate will give me multiple outputs. So I'll take the same output to T filter row. It is nothing but the same input which we are reading that will flow into multiple outputs from T replicate. So quite simple. So I'll come in and say schema will be already copied. So I'll just say what is the filter condition. So if I see same filter, all the columns are copied. So I'll just create one filter condition and I'll say is league is what I am looking for. And that league should be equal to some particular value, like how previously we decided. So suppose I want to get the value for this league. I'll just give it inside quotes. So it will filter out that data alone. And this output again I can give it to a different T file output delimited, which will only contain the players who has falling under that league, French league. So I can just rename these components also like players for French league, something like that. So here also we can create it in the Edureka demo output, but file name will be players for French League 1 or something like that. And similarly, I can take one more filter row. I can even copy paste the components. I take another input from T-replicate and I can even copy paste this T file output also since they are same structure. And I can give this filter to another one, but I'll go in and change the condition. So the other one which we are looking for is Spanish. So I'll copy this value, or I'll take English Premier League, which has more number of people. Now let me take that. So I'll just replace this French League with English Premier League. So this second flow which we created will have players for English Premier League. And this file name as well, I'll change it for English Premier League. So similarly, you can do it for many other clubs. We can have it in sequence. So now let's run this job and check if there are any problems, if there are any runtime errors or compile time errors. We'll get to know that. So to run this job, we'll have to just come to run window and then just click on run. So now we can see even statistics will be displayed on the rows, like so many 17,000 odd record has been read and same has been passed from T-replicate. And when we grouped up, it was totally into 42 groups and even after the sort. And then there were around 598 players for French League and 654 players for English Premier League. So let us see these outputs files has been created or not. So let's go into the demo output folder. And I see the league players count CSV, which was for first use case. So let me open this. So now you can see in the order which we wanted, we have the league name and number of players available here. And also we had filtered players for EPL. So we have all EPL players listed over here. So all of them in the EPL players. And also we have one more filter condition for French League 1. And even that output has been generated, who all belongs to French League. So by reading a file which was given for us as source, we have created the metadata. By adding simple aggregations and filter components, we were able to give the solution for which league has how much players in sorted order, and we could filter out the players for that league and provide it to their leaders or something like that who has that requirement. So we all did this everything from design to the output for the solution for 2 use cases in such a small span of time. So this is all about your Talend introduction demo. It has more capabilities. Keep following us for more updates. Thank you one and all for attending this webinar.
I hope you have enjoyed listening to this video. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries, and we will reply them at the earliest. Do look out for more videos in our playlist and subscribe to Edureka channel to learn more. Happy learning!